Alright, we're live. We're live. Welcome everyone. Today's a bit of a different one, on a different day. Welcome to all those that don't know who I am, that are new to the stream, that are coming through the Proko channel. I'm Ben, and today we're going to be messing around with the Proko timer, drawing some warriors, some warrior figure poses, and they're going to be timed. So we've got to be particularly careful. Well, not careful. More, how would you say? Got to prioritize our strokes. ARG, just drawing some warriors. Can't wait for the stream to start. Didn't expect you to be in the Proko challenge, but I guess dreams do come true. I appreciate you, ARG. Hello, Mochi. It's 1 a.m. over there. Yeah, my apologies for all the people over in Europe. This sucks, but it's going to be recorded, so you can always come back and rewatch this. Because I am in Australia time, which is 10:30 a.m. Nick S, hello from San Diego. Great to have you, Nick. Evan Hickam, efficient, thank you for my lack of words. Mixter, great to have you. Lockman, welcome. Darkwings, great to have you. How long will it be? Probably a couple of hours. Minimum couple of hours. Gabriel, hello from Ecuador. Great to have you. Julia, a regular, welcome. Christian Nee. Dude, I wish I could have you on stream, like now, to like chat with. I reckon we should try that, Christian. We both stream at the same time, and then we can chat. That'd be fun. British Giraffe, great to have you. Another regular. Castaware, welcome. Ray Black. Oh, we got Proko in chat. Can't wait to see these sketches. You and me both, my friend. Hopefully it turns out all right. Okay. Cliff, all right. Chat's going nuts. We need to get some stuff going. Carlos F181 on Instagram. So Instagram people, if you do want the full experience, I am on YouTube. You can find the link in my stories. So let's get cracking with it, shall we? So there is a link in the description, or you can type it in, proko.com/timer. Link in the description of YouTube, mind you. And all you got to do is choose day 5 warriors. Add it to the session. Now I've got the I'm going to have the reference up next to me, so you can follow along with this reference, or go on the site and get your own reference. Like use the timer yourself and just draw along, hang out. We're going to have some fun. And the cool thing about this is, I'm on a random playlist, my apologies. The good thing about this is, once you've done some drawings, there's another link in the description to throw it into. Let me grab that link, if I can find it. So there's going to be some prizes. Proko's going to be whipping out some prizes. So yeah, go on the second link in the description. Throw it in here in the community posts after you're done, and you go in the draw to win these prizes. So definitely worth doing. Definitely worth doing anyway, just for the sheer practice and fun of things. But let's get cracking, shall we? Let's waste no more time. I'm going to try and keep up with chat if it's not too crazy. Alright, so I'm thinking, so I've already done this here just so it's all set up on stream, so you should be able to see it all alright. So I've chosen warriors. It's pretty simple to simple to use. You've got your pack here, your selected reference packs. Number of images, what do you reckon, 20 minutes? I reckon we start with 20 minutes. Let's give that a whirl. Dario Bruniroma, I wanted to ask what brand of clay do you use for your sculpts? Thank you, Alien Clay, if you're going to check that out. All right, so I'm going to, and these are going to be more stylized. So that for those that aren't familiar with myself, all the stuff that I've been putting out, I like more stylized stuff, right? Pushing the shapes more, I guess you could call it, like, for lack of a better word, like cartoony, but more stylized, animation-esque sort of stuff. So let me just grab these two. So this is just the one that I did for the thumbnail. We're going to do some live here in a moment. Let me just, if Photoshop wants to behave. All right. Now I'm using a very simple brush. You can use a hard round, whatever. I'm using one that's free on my Gumroad if you do want to check that out, if you do want to be exactly like what I'm drawing with here, but you really don't need to. Whatever you feel comfortable with, that's what you should be doing. And if you're drawing traditionally, do you, boo? I've got to do some more traditional stuff. All right, we're all set up. Shall we start the session? I think we should start the session. And no, this recording, I'm going to have it up on my, unless Proko has an issue with that, I'll just keep it up on my channel. Okay, we're starting. Let's go. All right, so we've got 20 minutes on the clock. So here, I'm gonna try, and I might invent some things as well. We don't have to be super explicit with exactly following the reference, but these references are sick. You got some, you got a lot of drapery. We got 20 minutes, so we don't have to be too rushed. Right, so here I'm just finding, I guess you call this like the gesture, the real quick sort of understanding of, or the vibe, for lack of a better word, of the pose. Right, so get that down fairly quickly. That's what I'm aiming for here. All right, and what I want to do to get the direction of the head, I want to throw that ear in there, because that's going to help out a lot. She's got a little bit of a bun going on, so we can just add a bun there. And we're going to have quite a few shots at this if we're going for a couple of hours. Some of these might not turn out great. Some of them might be the best thing I've ever done. You never know. I doubt it. But we can dream. All right, so even with the hand, I'm just going to go blocky as anything. So what I might do is I'll do these, let's call them sprints, I guess. We'll do this sprint of a character drawing. Then what I usually do on stream is I'll take a few minutes to catch up with chat, answer some questions, and then we'll go back into another challenge, like the timed session. And then we'll just rinse and repeat that. So I'm not neglecting chat, but I'm also not just not drawing, which is pretty much what I reckon most of you are here for. Alright, so we've got something happening here. Very simple shapes, not going crazy with the details. I don't think we can really go, at least me, my skill level isn't up to the level where I can go super crazy with the details in 20 minutes. But what I might do is I'll knock this back, and now we've got like a base, and we've got a scaffolding, right? We've got a scaffolding with something that we can start pushing these shapes. Right, I might make the ear just a little bit larger. Maybe see like the corner of her nose, because we're not seeing too much of her face here, right? Maybe she's got some random neckless stuff. I don't know. For those of you that are new, when I'm drawing, my speech slows right down and it gets very choppy because I'm trying to think about that a lot. You'll notice it right now. I'm trying to think about the lines and the shapes and the drawing and talking at the same time. It's like my RAM is full in my brain. So, yeah. Nothing to be concerned about. That is just a normal occurrence on this stream. All right, so now we've got an indication of sort of the head direction a little bit more. And I'm just kind of almost thinking about this in layers, right? Like you got this first layer, or this second layer, I guess, technically, that's on top of that sort of initial block in. I also don't know the technical terms of things very well. So I will, I'm sure Proko has taught you guys well, and you know the proper words for things. So replace my rambles with the proper terminology. Okay, so really what I'm doing here is I'm doing like a mixture of things, right? I'm thinking about the 2D shapes first, let's say, so maybe the 2D shapes of this sort of upper body. I'm blocking that in, and then I'm using these lines, like see where she's got like her sort of waistband. I'm wrapping it around to then create the 3D form. Same with maybe this bag. We could just say, okay, the bag is going to be about here. But now we can bring it into 3D land and do these kind of perspective lines. Same with the legs here. We've got the 2D shapes of the legs. And then I might try and think about how the knee is pointing this way, and how the boot, we might like make the boots this kind of shape. Why? Pfft. Don't ask me. I'm just drawing the thing. We're going to be swapping and changing shapes all over the place. I mean, I've given her a little cape. But one thing that I do like to do is ground, like when I'm practicing figures, right? I want to ground these characters. Right, make sure, I mean, this foot's a little bit too big, so we can make the adjustment here. But when I'm in ground is actually have that bottom of the foot look like it's on a it's on a surface, right? Yeah, I think a big part of these time sessions is giving yourself like a bit of a break. Like if it's not looking right, that's why I kind of like these time sessions. It's like, oh, I can experiment. So later on, if it doesn't work out, I'm like, it's 20 minutes. What are you going to do? What can you expect? Gives you a little bit of an out. I don't know if that's a healthy thing, but it's sometimes how I think about it. But it gives me a bit of freedom to just explore, try some stuff without sinking a whole bunch of time into it. I mean, she's got a wobbly sword now. Might do more of a dagger. Maybe something like that. So what do we got? 10 minutes. All right. Let's assess. So we got this knee going this way. We got this knee going that way. That's fine. Let's add a little bit of I mean, I don't think she should look happy unless she's like psychotic, which she could be. That could be a character choice. Who knows? The sky is the limit. Maybe we add some folds in here. Just start playing. I mean, I could do... What have we got? 10 minutes. Yeah, let's knock this back again. And see if we can refine our thinking even more. Okay, so all I'm doing now is just deciding what lines that I'm going to be choosing. All right, it's like, yep, that's the line I'm going to be choosing. Whoa, this music got out of hand. Does not fit the vibe. Okay. So yeah, now it's just being more decisive with my decisions, right? Or as decisive as you can be in 10 minutes, but so this isn't as pushed as sometimes I will go. We'll do a mixture. We might go more closer to the reference. We might stray completely. So she's got this necklace kind of deal going on here. I'm just being very aware that we're not seeing much of the front of her face. Because it is a temptation that I have, is to like show everything, right? But sometimes you've got to look at the perspective, and you just got to roll with that. And look, sometimes you don't see the eyeball, even though every part of me wants to draw that eyeball in there and show it somehow. Sometimes just doesn't make sense. All right, let's see if we can add some a little bit of differentiation between, like, there's a shorthand if I wanted to add this wrist thing. Let's call it a bracelet, or I don't know what you'd call it. You could just do a shorthand and be like, all right, cool, that's good enough. But let's say do we want this, maybe this elbow to be facing towards us a little bit more. Then I'd want to cylinderize this just a tad more. Alright, because in the reference it's pretty flat, but that can also be a bit of an illusion as well, how the skin can kind of fold into it, etc, etc. So yeah, maybe the arm's a little bit too long, but we don't have time to mess around with that. That's fine. The decisions we've made, they're there. We live with them. Alright. Now, what's the deal with this cape thing? I'm going to be a little bit loosey-goosey with this. Not worried too much. Now, for the next one, because this is what I haven't drawn today. So this is kind of my first pencil to paper. I might want to try and push the shapes a little bit more in subsequent poses. Maybe we make her satchel just a little bit bigger, or just a different shape because we can. It's good practice. It's not a bad idea to keep zoomed out, like how far zoomed out I am. At least at this stage. Because I have a massive temptation of going into Noodletown and zooming all the way in. And losing sight of the bigger picture. Which is a very bad habit. Let's get these fluffy boots sort of vibe going on. The feet are a tad smaller. I think I could really push this back a little bit more, but that's fine. Something's a little bit off about the pose, but what are you going to do? Let's add some of these shadowy bits. This is giving me like Star Wars-y vibes. Unintentionally, but sort of how it's kind of laid out. Now these darker lines here, I'm trying to think about the shadow shapes, right? Where is the shadow going to be? Maybe we actually color this in. And then I don't know if I like that or not. I do not know if I like that or not. Do we make it shiny? Just with the indication of the line there. It's fine, I guess. This is a very not optimally shaped dagger, but it's what we've got. What have we got here? So we've got the back of her head a little bit. So I am making sure that, say this foot is sort of below this other foot, because it's going to go back into perspective, right? So that's going to give part of the illusion of her actually sitting on top of, or standing, let's say, on top of something. I'll make this sort of bow out a little bit, because the material will sort of ruffle up, squash up. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying. You're smart people. You can decipher my rambles. What do we got? A minute. What are we going to do in a minute? We'll do a bit of that. We'll do a bit of this. Refine some of these shapes. We'll do a bit of this, bit of this. Yeah, this is giving me like real like Star Wars vibes. Refine a bit of this. Alright, so make sure as well, check the links in the description and share your... Whoa, stop. You wait for me. Alright, so pencils down. We'll have a little bit of a break. I'll catch up with chat. Let everyone decompress, and then we're going to get back into it. Travis, great to have you. Darkwings, no worries. Yeah, the time zones suck. I'm in the future for a lot of you. It's Saturday over here. Saturday, 10:58 a.m. Heyo from Texas, listening while working on some character designs. Fantastic. SB artist. Art of Ant, great to have you. I sent you a message in Discord. I'm not sure if you saw that or not, or if you've replied. I haven't checked yet. Breezy J, great to have you. Pedro, welcome from Venezuela. Dario, okay, I'm going to butcher it. Dario Bruniroma. I'm doing well. How you doing? Harry Selden, great to have you. Julia K. So, for those of you that are just joining, we've got the Proko, the new Proko timer, and you guys have access to these wicked reference images. So you can add them to the session. So you just add whatever references. So we're doing the warrior, day 5 warrior today. Whoa. The day 5 warrior today. Add that to the session, and then you can join along with your own random selection of these warrior references, and then throw them in the link in the description in the community tab on Proko.com to go in the draw for some fantastic prizes. I sound like an infomercial. Dazzling, great to have you. Nenez, is this your first time working with Proko? I think so. Yeah, I think so. So it's pretty cool. It's Matos, great to have you. Nick S, you make it look so darn Easy. Believe me, it's not in my head. I'm just like, shit. ARG. Legend. Travis Anderson. So you can just follow along if you do want to use the same reference, or you can do a sneaky, like what I would do maybe is I would quickly go to the reference here. I would choose the number of images, choose the time limit that we're doing, and then just go like back and forth between these two until you find the one that we're working on, which should work if you did want to do it that way. Mr. Brightside, when did you really start trying to improve your skills as an artist? I've been on and off for most of my life. But the last, let's say like 2 or 3 years, I really knuckled down into this stylized stuff. Christian Nee, something I can't talk about, my friend. Appreciate the comment though. It's a joke. The government, it's a joke. Okay, I'm going to stop it there. I'm going to stop my Nick S. That's not a knife. Oh, there, yeah, I missed an opportunity there, didn't I? All right. I will stop the back and forth with the chat, and we'll get cracking with another one. Shall we? All right. So, whoop, this one's already gone. This one's already gone. Okay. This one. All right. I'm just going to give a whirl, whatever it throws at me. All right. 20 minutes on the clock. Let's do it. Now, what I might do is just look at the reference for a little bit. Think about some stuff, you know. Like, how is this going to turn out? But really just looking at the shapes instead of just going straight to drawing, because that's something that I tend to do a lot, is just go straight into it and I regret it. So let's just look. So there's going to be a bit of an expression here. So there's something going on here, right? She's holding something. There's a prop. Now, I'm just going to be laying in some funky shapes to begin with. Oh, let me just make sure I'll keep an eye on stream. Cool. Alright, so throwing in some funky shapes. Now, I've gone way too big for the canvas, so we're just going to scale it back down. That is a benefit you can do on digital. My apologies to the traditional people. But in traditional, you're probably taking a little bit easier. You're probably thinking a little bit more. And that can be a crutch to just go and quickly grab something and be like, oh, this isn't right. All right, she's looking weird at the moment. She's looking weird. We've got to make some headway with this. We've got to get something feeling somewhat respectable. I tend to like to do oversized hands and ears. I don't know why, but don't ask me why, because I couldn't give you an answer. But I'm not going to worry too much about the expression just yet. I might come through and fix that up on a couple of parts, like in a few passes time. All right, let's knock this back. Let's get the head direction. Now, it doesn't have to be 100%. Definitely doesn't have to be 100%. I do like to, even if I'm not going to show the ear, I do like to throw it in there just for head direction's sake, and then I can just erase it out later. I think of it almost as like a part of the construction. So she's got some beads and whatnot going on here. Now let's see where we're going wrong. So the knee, let's say the knee's like facing us, right? And this leg is kind of maybe here. Let's get that boot direction going. Let's get my head out the bloody way. I'm going full screen. Here you go. We got a bit of room on YouTube. My apologies. I have to be looking at my face the whole time. Let's just get an indication of the eye direction. She's looking at the lantern. But if the lantern is here, then I want the eyes to be looking bang on at the lantern, like that. Maybe she's not meant to be looking angry. Maybe she's looking more concerned. So we just do a little bit something with the eyebrows. And bam, she's concerned. Maybe her eyes are a little wider. She's in awe. Like, look how beautiful that lantern is. I don't know. This isn't a story stream. I'm just drawing. So this eye direction is a huge thing, right? So it's going to make or break that illusion that she's actually looking at something, you know? This thing, so maybe the pit of the neck. Now, even with this stylized stuff, right? I get a lot of questions around, oh, do you need to know like realistic anatomy to do this stylized stuff? I would say you don't need to know anything, right? There's no need. For me, if anyone's telling you exactly the number one way to do X, Y, and Z, I don't know. I tell them, I would take that with a pinch of salt, let's say. But in saying that, I can only talk from my experience, and understanding anatomy from a realistic level has helped me be able to push it and have some sense of realism with my stylized stuff, if that makes sense. Like here, like there's a pit of the neck, right? So I want to understand the pit of the neck. Maybe we can do the Proko bean, right? So it's actually grounded in some sort of, like the proportions are out, like different than a normal human. or your typical human. But we know that like the clavicle is going to be movable. Did you hear that crack? Yeah, the clavicle is going to be movable. All right, so that's something that we can sort of take into account. Then we got the arm. That shoulder's going to be up. That arm's going to be hitting the ground. Right, so I'm thinking about all of this stuff, but I might not draw it all the time. But if I get stuck, it comes in super handy. Like I want to know where that neck line is. But I think the thing that comes first and foremost before anatomy or any of that sort of stuff is just being able to draw 3D shapes at will. Because the ability to do that is like unlocking the matrix. Because then it's like, oh, okay, you can kind of draw anything you want. Now I'm doing a little bit of the zooming in and outy, which isn't the most ideal thing in the world. But it's a habit that I've gotten into, and it is what it is. I'll try and stop. So yeah, even this lantern, right, when I'm talking about the 3D shapes, we could make this lantern round. Right? Or we can do it like the reference, we can make it more rectangular. So just being able to do that at will can translate to anything. That can translate to this hand, these fingers. This arm is a cylinder that's sort of coming down. Now that hand is way too high, so I'm going to scooch it down just a smidge. Then we can have that lantern here. I might like a rounder sort of, I don't know. We really should start to think about the rest of the body. And then maybe we do another pass with cleanup. But yeah, understanding the 3D forms of anything, that's freedom to me, right? That's like ultimate cool. Now I want to draw, oh, I don't know, like anything next to her. Let's say she's like fallen over and her backpacks or like her satchels like fallen. And the mystical potion bottle has like spilled out everywhere, right? Just understanding 3D forms, you can just do this stuff. So that's where I've put the highest on the priority list is the understanding of 3D forms. And even understanding this, like maybe the horizon line is here, around here, right? And we're looking up underneath the lantern a little bit. So we see the bottom of the lantern. All right, let's knock these back. Let's go another pass. But you see how it's like a scaffolding for me to sort of draw on top of. Now I'm kind of just in invention mode. I'm even thinking more and more lately, really, about like story. Like, why is she looking at... Yeah, like understanding if I'm drawing characters instead of just drawing them in poses and stuff. Why? Why are they in the position that they're in? Why is she concerned? Maybe this turns a certain color when something bad's about to happen, you know? All right, we've got 5 minutes. Let's see what we can do. So let's add this, again, 3D shapes. This headdress. I would be absolutely lost if I didn't understand the 3D shapes. And again, this isn't perfect by any means, but I would be scratching my head, throwing down lines, not really getting anywhere, which I've done for many a year before understanding the 3D forms, you know. And even things like this, like making things interact with the environment. Maybe her hair is quite long and here's the ground, so the hair is just going to sort of lay flat on the ground, you know. And then this could be kind of like a slider. You can slide this up to be more realistic. You can slide it back down to make it more cartoony or more stylized. There's no rules to any of it. It is all completely up to you. And the cool thing is all these principles, they're not like tied to digital or traditional or whatever. Those are the ones that I take the most notice of. The principles, the techniques, the fundamentals that cross the boundaries of medium, I guess you could say. Fuck, I'm just rambling, aren't I? But yeah, like light, understanding light, understanding color value. You do watercolors, you do digital art, you do oil painting. Doesn't matter. You gotta understand that stuff, regardless. And that hand is still too big. Oh, it's still too high, probably. That's okay. Whoop. Let's find the fold here of the leg. Find the center line. I think this would probably be up a little bit more here, then the hair wraps around here. Let's find the fingers on the sword. She's wearing a bit of a ring there. No, that looks messy. Maybe just a smidge bigger. What have we got? 55 seconds. Let's see what we can do. 55 seconds. Let's finish off these boots. Simple triangle shapes. So we've got time for. The knee. This one. "23 seconds. Okay. How did we go? Really not the best. She looks a little bit jank, if I'm honest. Oh, God. Oh, well. But that's the thing. That's what I was saying before. Oh, it's 20 minutes. What are you going to do? So we can come back in and fix that one up. I like this one better. That was more flowy. Definitely. I'm going to take a quick break. Quick 5-minute break. And then I will be back with chat. And then we'll do some more. All right. I will see you momentarily. Oh, I should write that I'm going to be back in 5. Hold on. Let's not get rid of all of our work. All right. Back in 5. See you in a sec. All right. We are back. Jeez, look at old mate. All right. This is going to be a tricky one. Okay, let's catch up with chat momentarily. Fahar, great to have you. Mute, welcome. Artistic Spartan, my week was fantastic. Just us, you could give a critter a shot. Luke Moraes, great to have you. And what are some great books on design, as in learning and getting strong info on design principles that could be applied to drawing and painting? Oh, God. Off the top of my head, I don't know. I'll have to think about that one. Man, chat's going nuts. Kai, great to have you. Christina, first time I catch you on stream, and it's so late here in Spain that I have to go to... Oh, my apologies, Christina. Thanks for popping in, though. Charlie Danger, g'day. I feel like you're an Australian or you're making me feel welcome, one of the two. Clifton Jackson, I know it's not a reference, but the rules were laid back, so do you think Stan would have a problem if I drew him as a warrior? One of the things mentioned was sketch. I reckon I'd say go for it. I mean, you could use one of the references and throw his head on there. You could do that. Yeah, Panji, I think this is going to be replayed. Like, this is just going to stay up on my channel. If that's all good with the Proko team. Okay. Chat is going nuts. I can't just sit here talking for a month of Sundays. So, let's go another one. This one I'm going to try and push a little bit more, okay? Push the shapes. I really don't like this one, but that's fine. That's going to happen. So I'm going to try and push the shapes of this guy. All right, everyone ready? 3, 2, 1. Herval, greetings from Manta, Ecuador. Great to have you. Lou Anderson from Brazil. I'll see you on Instagram. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let us begin. Good luck, everyone. All right, so this guy, I might just start with the head. I might just start with something that... Start with the head, but I'm going to, like, push it. Push it real good. Like, just something completely sort of out there from the reference, just to begin with. So we've got 20 minutes on the clock. Let's see what we can do. So maybe the top teeth are there, then the bottom teeth, he's got like an underbite. Well, I've given him an underbite. I don't think this guy has an underbite. Alright. He's looking freaky. And that is fine with me. He's got a beard. So I'm just trying to find the shapes here. I tilt his head down a little bit. Just bam. So he's looking down. Maybe this is like a big guy. Maybe he's just like... He's kind of like an evil dude, so he's kind of like having fun with it. He's got a bit of a hunchback, maybe. So now we're just really playing with shapes. Maybe he has tiny little legs. Or we might just do a bust. Or just like his upper arms, maybe, something like that. Alright, let's scale him down. $15. Alright, so it's 5 minutes. I reckon we twist his head down. And then we've just got to adjust. Where his eye's gonna be. Alright. Whoa. Okay. So now we've got something. So I'm trying to think about the minimum amount of shapes to get the effect that I want. If that makes sense. Minimum shapes for the maximum effect. So we got his beard here. Now that beard's going to be popping out this way a little bit. We'll make it a little bit more scruffy. Let's just throw in some indication of the hand there. Now this kind of fits this music. Not usually my cup of tea, this kind of music, but for the story, it works. Now I want to refine the face a little bit more. So let's knock him back. Let's actually merge these two, merge them down. Now we can come through. Let's play. Play with these shapes. What can we do? Just have fun with it, you know. This is what it's all about. Not being super serious. Like this guy is. And one way to make characters look manic is to do the make opposites. Okay, let me think about this because I've not articulated this before. I don't think is to make opposite expressions on the same face, right? So if I have my angry eyebrows, right, but then I smile, right? There's an off-puttingness to that. So that is what we can do. So we can have his angry brow. See if we can go even more angry. But then we've got kind of a smile. So now he looks like manic. He's absolutely bloody nuts. and because he's smiling, I want to make that translate to the eye as well. Like that cheek is going to push it up a little bit. So you got to think about that a little bit. I'm just spending a bit more time on the face here. Probably not going to reach the whole figure. Let's redo that mouth. So let's think about this. So we're going to lose a little bit of that, of those teeth. His mouth is going to be even more open. It could be cool. Yeah, that feels better. What do you reckon? Yeah, there's something missing there, but I mean, look, again, it's only 20 minutes. What are you going to do? That's why I like this. We can just mess around, not be too uptight about it. Alright, let's have a look at this beard. Thinking of it like as a full 3D shape, right? This could be a creepy Santa as well. A younger, creepier Santa with glasses. There you are. But even with the beard, right, I'm thinking about the 3D shapes, like what's coming towards us, what's moving away. That's going to give it volume. Now, there'd be a lot of finessing with this in reality if we were going to take this further, you know. Even these like little marks on his, I don't even know what you'd call it. These are all in perspective. Could even make him look a little bit more manic. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. Let's see. So I'm just playing at the moment. Don't even. Well, we've got 40 seconds. Okay. There's so much I want to do with this, but it's gonna have to do. And stop. Alright, so this was a little bit different, this one. It's a little bit more free, loosey-goosey with the interpretation of the reference. And let me just catch up with chat. Danielle, hello from Brazil. Great to have you. David, welcome. Matthias, Merry Christmas to you too. Astro Panda, great to have you back. Sear Cull, hey Ben, thanks for the stream. What is an exercise you would suggest to really learn 3D forms for constructing more complex things? An exercise. I would crack open Blender and throw some primitives together. Cubes, cylinders, spheres, just throw them all together. Right? So they're like intersecting with one another, and then take some screenshots of it and then see if you can replicate those 3D forms. That's just one exercise of hundreds probably. Clifton, you're drawing digitally. Is that on a tablet or computer? On a tablet, right? So it's just it is technically a screen tablet, but I don't use it like that, and I'm looking at my monitor, if that makes sense. It's Matters. I honestly forgot how much people value the fundamentals sometimes. My mindset is always fun is greater than everything else. And finding out how to do things along the way, which works well so far for my job. It's a nice perspective to see. I think a lot of people probably benefit from a more structured or based in something idea. I think there's like so many variables to how people learn stuff. I want to keep things fun. Right? But my idea of fun could be different from your idea of fun. So it's like my idea of fun is understanding that underneath this guy's head is a skull, right? And understanding that there's going to be structure, because that equals freedom to me, right? So that'd be a skull. Underneath here, you've got the eye sockets, right? Because it's like a means to an end. It's like, I like this sort of stuff because I know that, I can do so much with it. I could then mock him up in 3D. I could like do whatever I want, you know? Right, so understanding the structure and stuff, that's like super, super fun to me. But it might not be fun to a lot of people. But I love this stuff. So you can imagine his teeth here. Right, because this equals freedom to me. So then you've got the neck, and then you could go through and do the whole skeleton if you wanted. Right, it's not perfect obviously, but so that's fun to me, knowing that there's like a reason and a rhyme and a reason behind the decisions that I'm making. But yeah, that's cool. It's a cool like conversation to have. I like going back and forth on sort of different perspectives of learning different stuff. Such D&D vibes to this. Eric Canet, welcome. Oh, Mixter, you absolute legend. Thank you, my friend. Mizzy, hey Ben, love the figure on screen. Just wanted to ask, what are some of the things you feel are unique to your art style and your process of making art? Art flow. Unique to my... I don't know how, like... I hesitate to say it because I don't know if I could objectively see what's unique to me. Because I come from the perspective of all the influences that I see. I can see a little bit of Max Grecke. I can see a little bit of JC Leyendecker that I love. I see a little bit of Proko. I see a little bit of John Asaro. I see like all these sort of things. So I don't know if I could actually say what is unique to me objectively. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if it does it or not. Anyway, I've been rambling for too long. You're not here to see me ramble. We're here to talk about, again, if people are just coming into the stream, 12 days of Proko, hop onto the proko.com/timer. The links are in the description of YouTube, and come join along, add this session. So you come here, add this Day 5 Warriors to the session, choose the number of images you want to go to. I'm doing 20-minute drawing studies. Feel free to do whatever floats your boat. Yukio Taksuki, great to have you. All right, I'll catch up with chat momentarily in approximately 20 minutes after we go to the next version. Okay, so we got this guy here. Let's go again. So there is a bit of perspective here, right? I mean, everything, there's a bit of perspective with everything, but we're looking up at him a little bit. So that can be tricky. Might even be worth just doing like... Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing, to be honest. So I'm just throwing some shapes down pretty lightly to begin with. Now, I always do this My legs are too short. I'm thinking like I'm looking up at him, so that's sort of the shapes that I'm throwing down. I'm throwing up. These kinds of things, the curves upwards, even his clavicle like upwards. But then we come to here, and that's going to be about where the horizon is going to be. So then we've got his puffy pants, so we can just really exaggerate that if we want. Now I'm trying scratchy style now. I'm just trying to find the lines and seeing what sticks. I like experimenting with different ways of doing stuff. Don't always have to stick to the one thing, you know. Whoop, what do we got? So looking up at the nose, we're going to see the bottom of the nose there. You might not see much of the eye, like the other eye, let's say. So really, like, that's a good enough base for me to then use as a scaffolding to kind of work off of, right? So let's try that. Let's see if we can get something going with the face. Thinking up, so I'm going to see maybe a little bit of underneath his chin. Whereas his nose is going to be... Think about the center line even. Maybe he's like proud. He's like, look at me. I mean, can you believe what you're seeing? We're seeing a little bit more of the under part of that chin. So I'm taking some cues. Now I'm kind of warmed up. Things are feeling a little bit more fluid, you know. We can even do this, where we're taking some cues from the anatomy, but pushing the shapes. Always got to think about the lats as well, like the back. Like this is where I'm talking about real anatomy versus stylized anatomy. How the arms will like fit into the torso. I'm always conscious of the lats, the latissimus, because that gives it dimension. It's not just sort of like plugged on to the torso. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. And I think his ear should be up a little bit higher because we're looking up at it from perspective of down low, down below. Got the belt. Let's scooch him over here. Let's get the forearms. Maybe even the hands can be a little bit larger, or not larger, move them down a little bit because we've got to make room for the forearms. Again, make sure you add your sketches to the community thread on Proko.com. Links in the description to go in the draw, pun fully intended, to get some wicked prizes. Takes two seconds. Alright, so now we're actually looking on top of the boots. So we've got to take that into account as well. Might even want to move this just so he's not so front on to the reference, if you know what I mean. So there's a little bit of sort of perspective there. So now we can, what is he holding? He's holding something. We can figure it out. Or we can invent it. Maybe he's holding like a bow. Let's just turn it into, yeah, maybe he's an archer. There we are. He's now an archer. He's got his thingy-majiggies, arrows. Is he holding his arrow? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe his arrow is like behind here. Not his arrow, his bow. Something like that. Okay. What have we got? 10 minutes. We've got more of a base. Let's go for another round of adjustments. Now, there's a lot wrong with this. There's some perspective issues. There's all sorts of stuff going on here. But again, it's 20 minutes. What do you want? What do you want from me? So he's feeling pretty proud of himself. He's like, you're welcome for me just showing up. Now, yeah, the difference between being warmed up and not is night and day for me. Things just start to click a little bit more. So definitely worth warming up with your drawing sessions. And this Proko timer is a fantastic way to do that. let's take a look here. So here you got the bicep coming into the deltoid. Any of you that have taken Proko's anatomy courses will know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, what are you doing? Alright, so you got the bicep here. Then you got this thingy. I can't remember what the forearm muscles are called, but you've got the forearm muscles. You got this, the bicep, then you got again the forearm muscles, but this one, he's got his little, oh, he's got one here, doesn't he? He's got another wrist thing, which makes sense from a bow perspective, to stop him getting like rash from the bow hitting. Now here, instead of getting all complicated with the fingers, I'm trying to think of it kind of as like a wave. Right, and then we can kind of just indicate them there. Same as here. Whoop. Think about the simple shapes first. This little pinky's sort of poking up, and then there's the thumb, and now we've got like an indication of a couple of hands, and this hand's way too big, so we'll just knock him back and no one will ever know. Let's refine some of these shapes. Then we get the belt buckle of sorts. Because this is an opportunity. I'm always looking for opportunities to show form. Right, so this is an opportunity here to show sort of the ins and the outs of like cloth. Kind of pushing in, pushing out, you know. Alright, because this is going to be a firmer thing that's sort of squishing in. This is going to be softer. So it's going to sort of plume out, I guess you could say. So that gives us a little bit of volume, a little bit of 3D-ness. What do we got? 5 minutes. Maybe he has, oh, I don't know. Alright, there's going to be some issues with this. There's only one strap and it's connected to the bow and the place where he puts all his arrows. What are you going to do? It's a drawing. It doesn't have to always make sense. I like to add these kind of zigzaggy indications for the sort of scrunchiness of the folds. I'm not being super careful here with it. Because again, it's only 20 minutes. We don't have time to mess around. Be super precise. I hope you're all doing well with your own drawings. But yeah, it's wicked. Take advantage of these references. These are awesome. Now this is probably one I would take a little bit further. I would sort of colour him up. And just have an absolute blast. Maybe he's standing like on a log. Talking to the people. I don't know if I like that or not. See, again, that's the beauty of understanding a little bit about the 3D form, is you can then come and do whatever you want. And I don't like it, so I'm going to do whatever I want, and I'm going to undo the whole thing. But at least we tried it. Let me throw his eyebrows up just a tad. So he's got one eyebrow up, like super high. One eyebrow down, so he's sort of like, ladies. Got an Adam's apple there. All right. Back to chat, catching up with you. How did you go? That was a fun one. I like that one. Windcrow, great to have you. Charlie Danger Davies, Australian. Ah, fantastic, my friend. But also welcome. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's cool that Studio Graphite is doing these reference images. Loadsy, welcome from Algeria. Great to have you. Whoop. Greetings from the Czech Republic. It's late, so I fall asleep listening to your stream, Marina. Thank you so much for popping in. I hope you have a great sleep. Maxime, hi Ben. I'm really glad you like my 3D version of your sketch. Ah, yeah. If Maxime is the one that I'm thinking about, it was fantastic. Blissful, great to have you. Mr. Sir, welcome. Alex. Greetings, gamers and artists alike. Great to have you, Alex. B-Spark. Half the things in my life are called that thingy. Rami, hi Ben. How you doing, Rami? ARG, he looks like he just did a trick shot. He does, yeah. He's like, I mean, did you expect anything less? Yeah, I like this one. There's a bit of story there. Anu, thank you for joining my live stream last time. My pleasure. My pleasure. I could only pop in for like a couple of seconds, so I really didn't get to see much. But no, it's good to see you streaming. Love seeing other artists doing the streams. ArtJIE on Instagram. I'm on YouTube as well. Abu Bakashake 054. Loved it. Really helps in understanding the design process. Well, hopefully you're having fun with it, and glad to hear that you enjoyed it or are enjoying it. Serena. Recently in an art block, but these live streams are very helpful in making me feel motivated to draw. That is fantastic, and that makes my day. Because, yeah, nothing sucks more than being stuck with drawing. So, yeah, if I can help in any way to get you out of that slump, it is only temporary. But yeah, no, really, really glad to hear it, Serena. All right, let's do, what do you reckon? We'll go one more. And I'm going to do a sneaky choose my own adventure. I like her. I mean, I did that for the thumbnail, but I mean, it's my stream and I make the rules here. So I'm going to do it again. Because it's a really cool pose. All right, so let's start it again. 3, 2, 1, and off we go. ArtJIE, it's the Warrior one. The link's in the description on the YouTube if you want to go check that out. Okay. Let's see if we can make it different than the thumbnail. Maybe more like chunky shapes. Let's try that. I did really like this arm coming back in space. And I just realised she's holding her head. A severed head. All right. I missed that part. So maybe I will make her... I mean, I did that in the thumbnail as well, but what are you going to do? There's like wind flowing. The hand's a little bit more like that. Maybe really push the pose. Like bam, 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 bam. Like something like that. Not the most comfortable looking thing, but it's a start. And maybe we make her eyes like really large. Just because we can. Alright, we need to move the ear out this way. Scooch it over. Might only see a little bit of that other eye. So this is fur, so I'm going to have that little indication of she's got like a fur coat thing, scarf thingamajig going on. And she is holding the skull of her enemies. Maybe. I don't know. See, I'm just kind of in explore mode at the moment. Let's ground the feet. This is very dynamic, to use a buzzword. Alright, let's knock this one back. What have we got? 13 minutes. Got all the time in the world. So here, even though that I've got the under drawing, I'm not following it 1000%. If I want to change something, I'll just change it. Alright, so I'm just thinking about, okay, so she's got her braids. So we can indicate that. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Do the oversized ears just because we can. Alright, so I'm just going to give the indication of the fur here. I actually quite like this one. Whoa. Music just coming in too hot. So here I might want to give the indication of the back, so her center line, I guess, her spine. Right, then coming around here. We've got 8 minutes. Vinicius. Hi Ben, I really like your lives and draw with you. I appreciate it, my friend. Great to hear it. Okay, let's take a look at this. So even the axe, right? I'm thinking about that in perspective. Whoa. If this isn't crazily close to the Backstreet Boys, I don't know what is. It's towing the copyright line. So maybe you got like the fox fur sort of flowing in the wind maybe. That could look like her tail by accident. We're not drawing furries here. But it is connected to her scarf. Right, let's draw this again. 3D shapes, right? We've got her braid. Let's think of it as like a cylinder going back in space, right? And we have it cut across here a little bit. Now, if we just imagine this part just as a cylinder, what's that going to be like? So we can imagine the wireframe, right? If you're wrapping lines around the 3D form, then we can maybe have a bit of a center line of where the braids are going to be placed. And then you can kind of imagine like, that kind of looks a bit shitty. But it gives me like a bit of a guide. If I want like this chunk here, this chunk there, this chunk here, this chunk there, to sort of go back in space. I'd have to really look in to see what the braids look like to get like a super accurate. Not terrible, but I mean, again, it's only 20 minutes. What are you going to do? It's the best excuse ever. Okay. So this is just nice to sometimes just add a bit of that Achilles tendon, a little bit of that indication of the ankle to show it's a foot. Give a bit of that, I don't know, structure, I guess you could say. Make sure this is going back in space here. Bit of the ankle. Maybe an indication of the toe. Again, it's loosey-goosey. We're not super concerned about high accuracy. She looks a bit simple there, so... Maybe we give it even more of just like a, you really want to try this? Like, really? Are you sure? You really? Whoa. Alex Bing, Ben, as someone who loves shapes, are you familiar with Yoshinari? Super great shapes in his work. I'm not by name, but I'm terrible with names. But if I see their artwork, I'll probably be like, oh, yep, for sure. I know exactly who you're talking about. So no, I'll make a note of that and I'll check them out. Because that's something that I want to do more so in the new year, is really like experiment with shapes. Even more, just really push stuff as far as I can and just have fun with it, you know. Even in sculpting, because I really like sculpting as well, both digitally and traditionally. I want to play more with that as well. All right, 42 seconds. What can we do? What can we do? Jeez, we can change this song, I tell you what. Let's take a look at this. All right. How did we go? Not terrible, not the best. Pretty much responsible for the look of Trigger Studio, some old Gainax shows, the latest cyberpunk anime, and Little Witch come to mind. Oh, fantastic. I'll definitely have to check them out. All right. Well, look. Again, this is a bloody good time. If you haven't already, check out the links in the description for the 12 days of Proko. Also, I think the courses and everything using code 12 days is 15% off. So you can check those links in the description as well. But yeah, utilize these 12 days references, guys. These are awesome. I'm going to be using these over the coming couple of weeks. So, no, it's fantastic. And thank you again, Proko and team, for having me. Excuse me, for having me join the 12 days of Proko. It was a ton of fun. I'd love to do it again. And yeah, I guess that's it. My plugs. Check the links in the description. If you like this stylized stuff, I do have a Gumroad tutorial available right now. I've got a podcast called Make Now Think Later, all about content creation and things, all the numbers behind the scenes, all that sort of stuff. So if you're into that, go check that out. And you can find me. You know where to find me. All my links are everywhere. And yeah, before we go, are there any questions? I'll catch up with chat. I'll hang out for a couple of minutes. April Moops. Hi Ben, good morning. Have a great day. Thank you. Same to you. I also stream personally every Monday, 10:30 a.m. Australian Central Standard Time, or Australian Central Daylight Time. So weekly. For those of you that are new here, feel free to pop by. We do all sorts of stuff. Castoware, awesome stream. Love watching your work. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. ARG, I hope to catch you in the next live stream. Always a pleasure. Appreciate you, my friend. Thanks for popping past. Julia K, thanks Ben. Your notification was a surprise for me and made my night. Thank you, Julia. Thank you for the support and popping into the recent streams. It means a lot. So we got people on Instagram as well. I'm checking out Instagram if there's any questions that you have before we call it a day or a night or an afternoon or a morning, depending on where you're at. Let's just do a quick recap. I like him. He's cool. I appreciate it, Proko. And team. Juan, my pleasure, my friend. Thanks for popping in. So we started off warm-ups. That was the first one. That's pretty cool. Second one, not so cool. That was, I would classify that as a, it's not finished. So not a fail, but it's just definitely not finished. Where's the rest of this guy? There he is. So we had fun with him. This guy's my favorite, I reckon, because he's got a bit of attitude, and this is sort of as we started to hit our stride. And then this one. So yeah, appreciate it, everyone. On that note, I'm off, and I will see you around the place. And then we have an awkward goodbye as I try and find my links to close the stream. Catch you later, Alex. Appreciate you popping in. I'm still here trying to find my where I put YouTube. Oh God. Where YouTube? Where are you? Here we are. All right, I'm ending Instagram. Thank you, Instagram people. And thank you, YouTube people. Catch you in the next one.